What up, welcome to a new episode. BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am Brandon Janeau, and like always on all podcast platforms over, BrandonJaneauShow. Social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, real BrandonJaneauShow. That's real, REAL, BrandonJaneauShow. Facebook, the BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, TikTok, BrandonJaneauShow. Go follow me on all those social media platforms. I would appreciate it if you did. Really, where you go? It's a YouTube channel, man. YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow. Subscribe, comment, like the vids, like the shorts. It all helps in the algorithm. If you do, yeah, get into it, man. This is life in times with music. You know what I've learned as I grew up loving music is that your opinion will vary. That's just the way it is. Music is supposed to be objective. What you like is what you like. I can't tell you to like something or someone because I like that person. There was a time period where that was okay, where that was an okay thing to do. Nowadays, we live in this world where it's just that shit's not reality. Um, it's just not reality, man. Um, so it's what been 3 weeks? Yep, 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks since Drake dropped Iceman, the BT, and Maid of Honor. Iceman is still the number one album in the country. Nigga just nigga's just different, man. He's just different. And there's still a debate on, oh man, this album don't last, and his music isn't classic, and this, bruh, what? I, I hate this dumbass narrative of 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 numbers, right? I hate this narrative, but in music, numbers are the only thing you can even suggest to make a case for an artist nowadays. Um, yeah, I'm not a fan of this shit. I'm just not. Not a fan of how people want to rate shit nowadays. It's just stupid. It's dumb. Doesn't make sense. But whatever it is to move your narrative and move the goalpost, then you do it. Iceman is the number one album in the country. Still the number one album in the country. Nothing's changed. The numbers might fall a little bit here and there because more weeks have passed and now people have listened to the album. And now, see, here's the thing: it's been out for 3 weeks. Nobody's listening to Iceman if you don't like the album. That's the crazy part. Like the way people try to like create this narrative is like nobody listens to an album if you don't like it. Like you don't go backwards and listen to a body of work if you don't like the fucking album. Like like I don't understand how people will sit there and think that's a good idea. Like the narrative people paint is like, oh, he's using bots. Oh, he doesn't. No, it's like my nigga. Like nobody goes back and listens to a body of work, point blank period, if the fucking album isn't good. No one does that. When have you ever heard of an album that still was at number one, still doing its numbers? But people would sit there like, but this album suck. Are you serious? Like, bro, it's just, oh my god, you had a narrative. Um, as man is standing the test of time. It is what it is. They've tried to run the narratives as much as they've tried to run the narratives. It's just not working. It is what it is. I get it. I understand. Um, last week, now it's last week. Now it's last week because last Friday, last Saturday, Jay Z, Hove, uh, who was basically very, very, very simply put, was the person that Drake, outside of maybe half the industry, he was very blatantly going at on Iceman. The jig is up on Janet, shut the fuck up. I mean, even whisper my name, where he literally says, "I'll take the 500K and at the dinner. I can never learn shit from none of y'all." If you actually watch Whisper My Name video, he got a tear on his eye because of what he said in one of my favorite Drake songs of all time. Still to this day, will still be one of my favorite Drake songs. Fuck with this, whatever Drake drops, this still will be a top 5 song to me, and that's Fear. Drake literally says in Fear, I never learned anything from Pac, but I probably will with Hov. I never cried with Pac died, but I probably will with Hov does. And when Jay dies, my tears will hold value for everything he ever showed us. So for him to have a tear in his at a graveyard site, he's basically going. If you are a true Drake fan, you know what the fuck that symbols, what that means, why that image is so blatant. Because you're like, bro, this nigga really that's for the day ones. That's for the so far gone. Been with that boy for 16 damn years. Listen to his music from the moment you started from 2009 to now. Like, that's what that image. So him putting that in the video was just like, wow, really, my nigga? That's how we moving out here in these streets? Damn, there's 17 fucking years. This man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, so when he does that, and he does that in the video, you see the image. You see the imagery of him actually having a tear in his eyes for physically saying, in his mind, Hov is dead. He don't fuck with Hov. It's over. I don't fuck with that nigga. Like, it's over. So for him to actually live out that bar in his, Hov's not really actually dead, but in his mind, he's crying and saying, yo, Hov is dead to me, personally. He's dead to me. So I'm dropping a tear for every single thing he showed me. And if you actually look at the video, he's got only one tear. He's only got one tear. He's not dropping tears. He's dropping one tear. Got one tear. And the tear stopped. It's not like it's a dropping tear. It's just a stop tear. The shit is just the nigga's clever. The nigga clever. I gotta give him that. The nigga's clever, bro. The nigga is he ain't even crying. If you actually look at the video, the nigga got one tear and it stops halfway. Yeah, the nigga's clever, bro. The nigga is clever. I gotta get the nigga clever, bro. You gotta get that nigga his credit, bro. The nigga clever, bro. But the whole does the Roots picnic in Philly last Saturday, and Hov does this freestyle thing before the concert. It was before he starts performing all of his songs and everything. And it was also shout out to Hov for actually bringing out the whole Rock Nation state property. Really, he brought out state property. Really, you know what I mean? Like, he brought out state property. Mid Bleak, Beanie Siegel, Freeway. That's me. That's my childhood. So of course I'm like, that's what it is, man. Like 100. Being in Philly on top of that, yeah, you had to do something like that. But Hov does this freestyle. I think it was like a 4-minute freestyle. And Hov was rapping his ass off, Hov doing Hov, and he's rapping, and of course he has some bars in there to Kanye and Nicki and Dame Dash, but more importantly, who the fuck really people wanted to hear if he was gonna say something to? And that's Drake. And he does say stuff to Drake, and he obviously, provokes that, and he goes in and does his thing. Here's the thing. Do I look at this as like a beef? No, I don't. It's not a beef because we know how Drake feels. Drake has, and this is something, again, I hate when people do this goofy ass shit. Drake has every right to feel some type of way about Hov. Every fucking right. Maybe decades of shit, yeah, you can say, well, nah, he shouldn't. But into the perspective of what this situation has become, look at what Hov has done since the beef with Kendrick. Jay-Z openly gave Kendrick the platform to perform his diss record to Drake. Openly gave him the platform. And I remember so many people were trying to be like, well, Hov isn't the one that put, because again, it goes back to everybody calling out Jay-Z. for not giving the spot to Wayne. And immediately people was like, well, we don't know if Jay-Z's the one that is the one that actually gave this to Kendrick. He could have been anybody. Really? I remember this shit. I remember people defending Hov's decision to give it to Kendrick over Wayne, and people feeling like, yo, you can't, you really gave Kendrick the platform in New Orleans over Wayne, bro. Now I'm saying everybody, but most people, some people felt like, bro, that's really disrespectful. That's really fucked up how you did that. But Hove, you know, Hove stood on his mountain, and again, like everybody does, they try to defend it, and then Kendrick does the, you know, Super Bowl, and he obviously we all knew what the fuck this was. He was going to diss Drake. We knew he was going to diss Drake because that was the only fucking thing he could physically fucking do on a Super Bowl stage like that. Because let's be honest, the biggest year of Kendrick's career came because of the beef. Message you don't want to like, message y'all hate that shit. It's the facts. Kendrick's had a great years, but that was a different year. That was a different fucking year. He was being seen in a different light by media and shit, just media fans. Like, even if you kind of fucked with his music, there was a difference here. That was a different energy with this man at that time. But Hove gave Kendrick that platform. So for people to sit there and act like Drake has no reason to go at Hove, you're fucking delusional. You knew exactly what the fuck you were doing. For somebody that's that calculated like Jay-Z is, you knew exactly what you was doing. And then you turn around 2 years later, and then before Drake drops Iceman, I talked about this. Hove comes out in an interview and says, "Come on, I'm Jay-Z. Why would I have a problem with Drake? That don't make no sense." The problem with the problem with Hove's decision to listen, I get it. You want to respond, cool, respond. You have every right to respond. Like Drake has every right to go at you. You have every right to respond. It, before I get into this even farther, I want to get this out the way too. I am 32 years old, bro. I have not been anywhere but the South, from New Orleans to Houston. I've been in Atlanta for a summer. I'm I'm a Southern kid. Let's get this shit out the way. I despise when I hear people say nobody in the South is bumping hole. That's a fucking lie. That is a fucking lie. I get that we live in this time period of life where everything's got to get discredited and we got to talk down on shit. But as a person that grew up in the 2000s, bro, nobody was bigger than Hov. No one. In rap sense, yeah, you had Eminem and you had Nelly and DMX and 50 and Ja Rule and Outkast and UGK, and you had areas of people, pockets of people. The West still had Snoop and they had E40 and they had Too Short and Dre pop out here and there. And then the gang took off, and you had the West, and then you had the South, and then you had the Midwest. But when it came to New York, it was Hov, Nas, Jada, the Lock, Styles P. We grew up in a really great time period of rap music. I don't think people understand how great that 90s 2000s era of rap music was. I mean, we do, but I think when people have these conversations, I think we need to have a realistic conversation. So I don't live in the let's downplay Jay Z shit. No, I grew up a huge Jay Z fan. Jay Z's top five dead or alive to me. There is nobody that's better than Jay Z. Like that. Like I grew up a Jay Z fan. Like that. I am a like I said. I'm from the South, bro. Like I had every intention to not listen to a Jay Z, but Jay Z was every fucking where. So when people sit there and try to pretend like, oh man, Hov was never that guy, bruh. We're not doing this shit. We, I despise that shit. I fucking despise it because it's like, bro, we grew up listening to this man. Stop pretending like you didn't. We grew up listening to Jay-Z, bro. Stop pretending like we didn't. Just because you don't like how he moves. And hey, bro, we find out later on in life a lot of niggas that you probably fucked with when you were young might have been dirty motherfuckers behind the scenes. It is what it is. That's just life nowadays. These niggas, to be where he's at in his career, to have the career that he has had, he had to move a little shiesty. A lot, probably in his career. He had to move shiesty a lot in his career. Does that make him a great human being? Fuck no. But to pretend like Jay-Z wasn't that guy is insane. I don't respect that shit. I don't respect that shit at all. I don't like it. Trying to discredit this man's career because of this, that, and the third is insane to me. I have literally said the Blueprint is probably one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. You can't tell me the Blueprint ain't one of the greatest hip hop albums of all time. You can't tell me. Every song on that project is a fucking legendary song. Fuck out of here, bro. Like you, fuck out. Song Cry, Heart, No Heart in the Heart in the City, Ain't No Heart in the City. Like, bro, like uh, uh you don't know. Take over. Take over is better than Ether. Fuck what you talking about. Take over is better than Ether, nigga. Fuck what you talking about. Take over is better than Ether, nigga. Fuck what you talking about, nigga. I am a Jay Z fan. I grew up a Jay Z fan. So I will never discredit that man's career because I fuck with Drake. That's insane. That's insane. Does Jay Z have every right to feel the way he feels and respond the way he responded? Yes. Yes, Jay Z does. Here's where the problem kicks in. I hope you responded, you felt some way, you responded to everybody talking down on you, Nicki, Kanye, Dame, Drake. Okay. Let this shit go now. You see, here's my problem with this beef. If this turns into an actual legitimate beef. Jay-Z can't make it personal, even if he tries. He can't make it personal. One reason is because so many people have taken the ammo out of the gun to shoot at Drake. So Meek Mill says he doesn't write his own bars. Pusha T has, Pusha T told the world he had a son. Kendrick has used the narrative of you are a pedophile and you're not culturally aware of blackness in America. What can Ho really say to Drake? Private, like personal. Like he can't make this personal. What can Hove actually say to Drake? What can he say? Everything's been said to this nigga. You're not black enough. You 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 hid the child. You hid a kid from the world. You don't write your own fucking words in songs. And the worst fucking thing, you like children. You date children. You hook up with kids. What more can you fucking tell us fucking do? What can you now come out the woodwork with? What can you do? There's nothing else you can fucking do to this dude that has been said to this nigga, and yet he's still walking around here with a fan base. He's still walking around here with a number one album. He's still walking around here with people that are anticipating a fucking tour. What can you do to this nigga? There's nothing more you can do. And this is why I say Hove can't make this personal. He physically can't make it fucking personal. And despite what people think, he can't fucking make it personal. He can't. He can't do it. There's nothing he can do to Drake personally that will get him. Everybody's taking the bullets out the gun. Everybody's took the shot at him. That's why him walking around with the bullet holes is actually a perfect indication of what the fuck now a battle with Drake will look like. You can't fucking battle this nigga at this point with personal. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. What personally you can say to this man that's gonna get him to feel some, what can you say? You just called him the worst fucking thing any human being could be called. You just called him the worst thing any human being can be called. And you think that Hove has a chance in this battle if you go personal? Another reason why Hove can't do this personal shit with Drake in his battle. Hove, you got too many skeletons in your closet, bro. You got too many skeletons in your closet. We know of some. We don't know all. Drake has shown you he plays a different game in beef. In rap beef, he plays a different game. I don't think he will ever throw a shot at Beyonce. I think he may use her like he did Nicki in the Meek beef, where it's like, I got too much respect for your lady. I would never go at her. But let's not act like you don't use her for your own personal gain. I can see Drake doing some shit like that, where he's using Beyonce in the sense of like, bro, you know damn well, if it wasn't for her, a lot of your deals wouldn't be your deals. Yeah, you're a business-minded motherfucker. But let's not forget 50 saying what he said about Hove. When Hove signed that contract to marry Beyonce, it opened the door up for him to do more shit. So I can see that is how Drake uses the Beyonce, lines where he paints her in a way where she like, bro, she's too good for you. Like she shouldn't even be with you. Which brings into the past, right? Becky with the good hair. See that shit. We still don't know who the fuck that girl was. We have no idea who Hov cheated on Beyonce with. What if Drake finds her? What if Drake figures it out? What if Drake uses her? Now you bring it up, oh shit. And now, oh shit is new shit. Because now we actually do see who this girl is. It's a lot of shit that can happen to Hov that Hov is not prepared for. He ain't, listen, I know Hov probably thinking, I'm gonna this shit about I got everybody on my payroll. I got radio, I got media, I got this, I got that. And yet Drake can still find a way to get you. And it's a different world, bro. Drake can hit you from a different position that you ain't even thinking of. And that's the thing I'm saying. Like Hov doesn't have the same leg to stand on as a Drake. And that is why I feel like this is why I think also for Drake, it could be a misstep. I'm not gonna sit there and pretend like it can't be. It could definitely be a misstep. Because this might be the first battle where it's gonna be strictly about rap. This is the first Drake battle that's gonna be strictly about just the rap, just the hip hop, just lyrical bars that Drake actually is walking into. Because for the first time, this isn't gonna be a scandalous battle. Because like I just said, Hov can't afford it. Hov can't afford a scandalous battle. He can't fucking afford it. He can't afford it. Despite what people want to say, Hov is in too many of these fucking corporations' pockets to try to go back and forth scandal for scandal with Drake. That nigga will fuck you up in that situation. Because Drake, again, something else that people not understanding. Drake has no fucking label telling him what to do. I don't have to worry about what I can say. I can say whatever the fuck I want to say to you. You, on the other hand, have to worry because you have Tidal, and Tidal's now with Twitter, and you have that going on. You have the NFL deal. You got so much shit going on in your career. You can't just say shit and think that it's just not going to create a problem for you. That is why I feel like at this point, Hov has to keep it. Hov has to keep it lyrical. he has to keep it lyrical. But the problem with keeping it lyrical is that the bars that Hove will throw is what he did on stage, and I feel like that could be his downfall. Where he's talking about like I'm money, like I'm a billionaire, bro. I don't talk to y'all little kids. Y'all look up at me. I don't look up to y'all. Y'all looked up to me. That only works in a world where that only works, Hove, in the sense of like a how can I say this? Hove's right. There's more rappers that have looked up to him than they've ever looked up to Drake. That is right. But here's where the problem kicks in. Hove is playing a dangerous game with that too. He's playing with fire. And I tell you why I say that. Because as much as Hove is right, he's also creating a problem for himself. And he's putting himself into a position where, again, like I said, the bars that Hove is saying, like, oh man, I'm a billionaire. I don't have to talk down to you little niggas. Y'all niggas look up to me. I don't look up to y'all. That's a great perspective in persona if you were talking to somebody that was in your generation. Drake doesn't play by your rules. Nobody plays by Hove's rules. See, this is the first time in a long time we're about to see two generations clash. We're about to see a generation clash. We're about to see the old guard versus the new guard. How the old guard had to move and how these new motherfuckers move. You're talking streamers, YouTube, Instagram lives, shit like this is a different world. And Hove has still got the media. He's got the, tabloids. He's got TMZs. He got shit like that. We're about to see two generations, if this happens, clash. And I'm here to tell you, that's a dangerous fucking game Hove is playing. Because that's not too. And even though the hatred of Drake is very real and it's very out there and it's very poignant, I say this is a dangerous game because all Hove got to do is slip up one time and say he don't give a fuck about these new kids. And now you got these streamers that have completely turned on you. They don't give a fuck about. See, this is the one thing about the Drake beef that I think people don't really talk about is when he sued, a lot of the streamers took a L in that. And that's why a lot of people flipped on Drake in the streaming world. They felt like, it wasn't about like him suing Drake, suing for the song. That wasn't the fucking reason. A lot of them got fucked up in that shit. A lot of them, you could hear them say, man, yeah, I don't like this shit because Drake shouldn't sue because it's fucking up my money and it's fucking up what I'm doing. A lot of them got fucked in that situation. And that's why a lot of them flipped on Drake at the time. A lot of them flipped on that nigga because of that. It wasn't just because he sued. It was a lot of them reactions. Their reactions were getting pulled down and all this other shit. So a lot of them flipped on him. And that wasn't his fault. That was UMG's fault. UMG was very open and openly letting Kendrick reactions go while Drake shit, because I had shit being silenced when I was talking about the beat back in the day. Like I had a lot of my shit being silenced because I would talk about Drake and Kendrick, but I would lean towards Drake, but my shit would be getting silent on TikTok. And there's a lot of us that used to have videos come out and we were talking about Drake and the shit get silenced. So it was a lot of things that was going on around that time. This is why I say Hove is playing a dangerous game, because you're trying to move in the mindset of like, I am bigger than you, but you're not. Hove's not bigger than Drake. And I'm not saying Drake is bigger than Hove. I think that's what people are trying to now make it seem like, oh, you're playing in two different generations. Hove, this isn't the 90s or the 2000s anymore. You're in a different world now. And in this world, Drake has a bit of an advantage. But I'm not saying Drake is bigger than you. I think you're not looking at the perspective and the persona and the position that you're in at this moment. You're still moving off of the I'm Jay-Z. I'm Hov. That works for 30, 40, 50 year olds. That shit don't work for 30 and lower. That shit don't work. So yeah, Hov, you're Jay-Z. You are one of the right. But a lot of these kids, you gotta realize Jay-Z's last album came out in what, 2016? 2016. Some of these kids had already they haven't heard Jay-Z in years. Like you gotta realize Jay-Z's last solo album was 444. That came out like 2016, 2017, 2018. If you listen to a lot of people talk about 444, it's a lot of older people that like that album. Not a lot of young people fucked with that album because it wasn't what they were listening. That's not what they wanted to hear. So when you run into that situation, you're playing a different game. So that I'm Hove shit works until you go up against a guy like Drake. That I'm Hove shit that don't work in this era, bro. That don't work in this generation. And I think that's why I feel like this is going to be stupid of him if that's the persona he wants to take. Because if that's the persona you take in this battle, is I'm bigger than you. You're not bigger than him. You're not actually bigger than him. You think you are because you've run around and that's always been your persona. For I'm bigger than you. I'm the bigger artist. I'm the bigger rapper. By name, you are. But if we actually go into deep dive into the actual you versus him at this moment, no, you're not bigger than Drake. Name value, your guys are kind of on par. Like niggas say Hove like they say Drake. Niggas say Drake like they say Hove. Like it's not as Hove, Six God. It's kind of they're right there, and I think that's why I feel like this is a stupid percent. It's a dumb narrative to push because you're trying to sit there and say I'm Hove, nigga. Like I'm big. I'm a Jay Z, nigga. Like that worked. That would have worked in 2012. That would have worked in 2016. We're in 2026. That shit don't work. And I am a Jay Z fan. That shit don't work, bro. I hate saying that shit. Like I gotta fucking. I hate that shit. I hate that I have to say it like that, bro. I grew up on Hov. I grew up on Jay Z. Jay Z is one of the greatest rappers of all time. I don't give a fuck how you feel about that nigga. He is one of the greatest rappers of all time. But I can tell you flat out, this ain't gonna go the way he thinks. Because, like I said, and this is what I said about Drake too, right? This is the only battle that Drake is actually going to have to just be lyrical. And it works for him. This is the thing that people don't understand. Drake is a rapper, bro. No matter how you want to slice it or dice it, the nigga could fucking rap. The nigga raps. This is the thing about people that don't like this nigga because they know he's fucking good. They know all the shit y'all have thrown at this man. He's actually lived up to it. He's good, and you fucking know it. That's what you don't like about him. The fact that he's actually surpassed, and I've said this numerous times about Drake, he surpassed what you thought he would be. He's been surpassed it. The fact that he's still in this, he still has the career that he has, and still have people wanting to listen to him. 17 years since 18 years since comeback season. Shit, 2006, 2007, room for improvement, about 19 fucking years. And I know you said on Make Them Remember, this 16 years in the game, they said Minute Maid. I guess he's counting just Thank Me Later, which was 2010. So when he says even that being a slick line of Lemonade, Beyonce Lemonade. This ain't Minute Maid, nigga. I'm 16 years in the game, nigga. Like any more motherfuckers trying to add Lemonade to this, you know what I'm saying? Like, but even in that sense, I don't think Hove is taking this is why I said this is not gonna be a beef. This is why I don't think this is gonna be a beef. I don't think this is gonna even be a battle. I think that Hove responded. Drake is clearly gonna throw shots at you until he gets tired. And it's up to Hove to respond. If he wants to continuously respond, then eventually you're going to put yourself in the ring with someone that has no care about how the world perceives you now. He doesn't have to protect you. He doesn't have to kind of throw little subtle jabs at you. See, Drake did it. He threw the little subtle jabs for years. When he did Draft Day. Like all these niggas like to pop a lot of shit when I'm not around, but when I'm not a sound. That don't make me snap, go in the boot and rock and drop a song and drop a body down, like a body, yeah, drop a body down. Like even then, like people forget that was a verse towards Jordan to Hove, nigga. He was throwing shots at Hove then. Them niggas been throwing shots at each other for fucking years. When Hove did, when Hove took We Made It, when he did the freestyle to We Made It with Jay Electronica, he was throwing shots at Drake then. Like they've been doing this shit for fucking damn near a decade plus, but this is different. See, the problem with this is Drake doesn't have to protect Hove in a sense. He doesn't have to come off with the I still respect you and I admire you and I got the love for you. This is clear cut that this is not that anymore. That Drake doesn't feel that way anymore. He's coming for you. That is why I say whisper my name when I open this up. I said whisper my name because him having a tear at the grave site is basically saying that guy that I cherished then is dead. I don't fuck with that dude no more. That is the difference. That's the problem. That's where this is getting interesting. To me, I don't think Hov. Listen, man. Do I think there's gonna be a beef? No, I don't think there's gonna be a beef. And if it is, Hov has got to keep it lyrical. Hov has got to keep it in the space of rap. The moment he steps outside of that, Drake can squash you. Because, like I said, we don't know none of the skeletons in Hov's closet, but he got a lot of skeletons in his closet. There's a lot of shit about Hov that has been said numerous times that people just brushed off because, man, it's Jay-Z. Come on, like, bro, we really gonna. We don't know shit. We don't know any of the skeletons in Hov's closet. And if Jay-Z plays this game with Drake, we gonna find out very fast that he fucked up. He put himself in a position where he can't get the. And I know people gonna sit there and say, "Well, he probably he got that many. He ain't got that shit, bro. For 30 fucking years, you think Jay-Z ain't got nothing that Drake can pull out his ass and figure out and find out about something? Of course he fucking can. Bro, there are countless shit. I'm looking at shit on fucking X on Twitter, and people are pulling out shit about this fucking dude. They ain't even in the battle. This ain't even a battle yet. It's niggas just finding shit about Jay-Z back in the day. Old stories and old shit. Like, bro, so you think Drake can't pull something out the sky on his ass? Come on, bro. This is why I say this is not going to end well for Hov. This is not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's going bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. For Drake, the only way Jay-Z wins that whole battle is if it keeps it lyrical, and they do exactly, and they do exactly what Kendrick did, which was he didn't win the battle because he was lyrically better. He won the battle because the media was going to push the narrative he won regardless. It didn't matter. And this is something else I wanted to say, which is Drake's in a situation where it kind of feels where Drake's in the same situation with Kendrick. I've seen Drake's in the same situation with Jay-Z that I felt that he was in with Kendrick, which is it doesn't matter what the fuck you say. The media is going to say that Hov is better and Hov won. Doesn't matter what you say. The problem is that years later, just like now people are revising the situation, revisiting the situation, being like, yeah, I don't think Kendrick really did any damage when you think about it. Drake is still not affected, and that's the problem. To to really win a beef, the person's got to be affected at some point. Something's got to happen where people turn on him, something like 50 Cent and Ja Rule. When 50 won that beef, Ja Rule. Now you can sit there and say, well, it was also the FBI situation with Murder Inc. 100%. But when that beef ended, it was clear as day Ja Rule could never recover from that. It was clear. Nelly and Chingy had a beef back in the day. People forget that shit. Nelly won that beef, right? Chingy never recovered really from that. There are certain elements of this shit where even in a Jay-Z and Nas beef, Jay-Z recovered because Jay-Z was actually already the guy. It wasn't like Nas just we realized Nas couldn't do what Hove can do. Same thing with Kendrick and Drake. We realized, oh, Kendrick really can't do what Drake does. It's not that he's bad. He just can't do that. He can't give us what Drake gives us. He can't give us the summer songs. He can't give us the hits. He can't give us. He can't really push new artists and give us new artists like that. He's not good at it because to be that guy, you got to be consistent. You got to be consistently there. And the game is going to suffer when a guy just dips out for a year or two. So yeah, that was my feeling on the beef. The what if beef. Do I think it's going to happen? No, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think Hove and Drake are going to actually beef. But I will say this: if Hove says something about Drake before Drake drops something, it will be a beef. It will be on because you can respond. That's not the problem, Hove. You can respond to nigga. I don't care that you responded. I mean, you have every right to respond. That's the nature of the battle. You have every right to respond to what he said. Don't get your ass on that stage by, when you have to do the reasonable doubt in the blueprint concerts. Don't get your ass on that stage and still throw shots at this man. Before Drake says something about you. If Drake ain't saying shit about you, you still coming out defensive and still saying shit about Drake? All right, now there's a problem. Now we have a problem. Now there is an actual genuine problem because now you are opening up for Drake to now say, oh, bet. That's a problem. That is a lyrical fucking problem. This is another thing I hate about this shit too. I see a lot of people also try to use this narrative, right? The reason why I don't like this comparison, like LeBron to Michael Jordan, is like Hove to Drake, a Jay-Z to Drake. The reason why I don't like that narrative is because sports and music are not the same. It's not even close. I don't want to say it's not. There's a lot of similarities in sports and music that we can easily point out. But in this sense, it's not the same. And I'll tell you why I say it's not the same. Michael Jordan and LeBron are not like Drake and Hove. It's not. The reason why Michael Jordan and LeBron are not like Drake and Hove is because it's not just we live through the time periods. Michael Jordan and LeBron had a chance to prove it. Who was better? Mike played in 6 finals. He won all 6. Mike was better when it mattered most. When it was clutch, when it was game time, he won the fucking ring. There's a trophy that is given to someone to win, to prove without a shadow of a doubt. When my team played your team and I was healthy and I was playing, you didn't have a chance in fucking hell. There's a difference. LeBron individually and Michael Jordan individually also are not the same. They're not even in the same stratosphere, in a sense. And I think people, and I know people are gonna say, "Oh, he was just hating on LeBron." No, I'm not hating on LeBron. I just feel like a lot of people try to act like they're in the same stratosphere, and they're not. There is a real difference between Mike and LeBron. There's a massive fucking difference between Mike and LeBron. Michael Jordan had killer instinct. Michael Jordan knew when it was time to show the fuck up, it was time to show the fuck up. He never took a day off. He kept going. LeBron, on the other hand, is very team centric. That's why people love LeBron so much because his overall play is better. But the problem with his overall play is that you lean too heavily on being just the overall player. When Michael Jordan had to prove his greatness, he proved it. There was nobody better. When it was finals, he proved it. He never lost. And that is the thing. No matter what the fuck you want to say, Mike never lost. Here's the problem. Drake and Hov are closer than Mike and LeBron are. You see, when people try to use stats and records in sports, that's one half of the metric of greatness. That's why I always say that. That's like 1/3 of the metric of greatness. But it doesn't tell me that you're greater than him. It doesn't. LeBron has 4 MVPs. Mike has 5. No, I think Mike got 6, actually. No, Mike got 5. Mike got 5. Mike got 5 MVPs. It's insane. That's fucking nuts. Holy shit. LeBron's got 4. Mike's got 5. Individually. Boy got 5. So even in accomplishments that y'all try to use, Mike has more accomplishments. Mike has a defensive player of the year. LeBron does not. Shit is different, bro. Like there is a reason for why I say stats and records don't always bring out the that's one half. But even if you talk about the individual accomplishments, Mike still long jumps LeBron even in that sense. Finals MVPs, but LeBron got 4. Mike got 6. Mike got 6. I, I don't think you understand how crazy that shit sounds. Every time they won, he was the MVP. Like LeBron got 4. Mike got 6. That's insane, bro. But in music, it's not the same. You see, greatness in music isn't like sports. All you have in music is the stats and the records. You don't really. I never heard where people made a tour numbers the most important thing. Like even when I was a kid, tour numbers weren't the most important fucking thing. So because you had a sold out tour, great for you, but that didn't mean you were the greatest artist on the planet. There were niggas that were selling out tours, and half the fucking people didn't even know who the fuck they were until they fucking told us they sold out a tour. Like it was like, oh, bet, all right, great, like, all right, bet, great, awesome. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas for music, all you have is stats and records. That's why we do could attribute being the number one, having the number one album in song. That's why it matters so much. If you didn't have a number one hit record, I know people try to use that narrative of like, well, there's a lot of people that never got number one records. That's not that doesn't move the needle like you think it does, my nigga. Most of the greatest artists on the planet, if you're a great artist, you will get a number one record. So when you sit here and say, "Oh man, you, you know, Jada Kiss never got a number one record," Jada never aimed for the fucking pop charts. He never aimed for Billboard. So you using Jada as a stupid decision. Like that's a bad fucking decision. Like yes, Jada has had some hits. Why with Anthony Hamilton? Knock yourself out. He's had songs with Mariah Carey and shit like that. But Jada's never aimed to have the number one song. And even if he did, you using him, he would be basically be like, nah, probably, no, I was definitely trying to get a number one hit out this motherfucker at one point. Now, what's your narrative? Because the narrative is real hip hop don't need number ones. But most don't act like most of these fucking artists weren't trying to get a number one single. Like Nas definitely was trying to get number one singles. You don't think him working with Lauryn Hill didn't mean something to the label that, man, this might be a hit. Like this might be a number one single one day. Don't tell me that real rap never needed number ones. That's bullshit. That's a fucking lie. I despise that narrative. Hip hop is a part of music, my nigga. Hip hop is not its own entity. Hip hop is a part of music. And the only way music succeeds is if it is a global or recognizable staying point. Nobody drops music just to be here today, gone fucking tomorrow. That's fucking stupid. You're dropping music to be remembered. You're dropping music to have hits. So when you talk about greatness, this is why the dumbass narrative that people have is the funniest fucking narrative, because I hate this dumbass narrative. Because stats and records are the only thing that you have in fucking music. Because awards have been watered down so fucking much. And even to you fans, you have the narrative your goddamn self. You fuck up with the narrative of the Grammys. So when you sit and say, well, Hov got more Grammys than Drake, that means he's a better artist. No, it doesn't mean he's a better artist. It means Jay-Z knew how to play the game better than Drake did. If also an artist that like of Drake caliber to basically not even put his albums up for consideration at certain points, you still want to use that narrative? Dude, artists like Drake that literally got on the Grammy stage and literally said you didn't need the fucking Grammy that he was actually holding that he just won. Saying, you don't need this shit. You never needed this shit to validate your career. But you want to run around and scream, but he got more awards. When the fuck did awards mean the most to fucking artists? When did that matter in music? That's like the dumbass Billboard narrative you try to run with. Numbers don't matter. But numbers do matter in music. Because if numbers didn't matter in music, most of these fucking artists wouldn't be artists. They'd be fucking painters or OnlyFans. They're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Of course numbers matter. The fuck are you talking about? These labels, you think these labels are trying to keep the lights on in the building with a fucking nigga that don't make motherfucking hits? Are you serious? That's why most of you most of these young motherfuckers gotta drop albums every fucking month. Because they gotta keep the numbers up. Because if niggas actually stop listening to their music, their career be dead. Their career be fucking over. So when you sit and say numbers don't matter and stats don't matter in music, in hip hop particularly, you lying your fucking ass off. You're lying. Because music is the only place where numbers matter. Music is the only place where numbers matter. They judge shit off of metrics. You think these niggas really just signing motherfuckers that think this motherfucker can't sell? If I put you out there right now on a tour, are we doing a club? We doing bars? Can we do an arena? No? Then what the fuck am I bringing? Why am I dropping your music? This is the dumbest fucking narrative I hear people say all the time with this dumbass narrative. Like, because you know the narrative, the numbers matter, kills a lot of artists when it comes in comparison to Drake. And you know it. You can't run with the narrative that you want to run with the, well, the awards matter. When the fuck have you ever cared about a Grammy? When have you cared about a Grammy? Y'all are the same fans that ran in my comments when I said Killer Mike should have won the Grammy over Travis Scott. And y'all literally was like, but Travis Scott. These are the same fans that now want to use the narrative of Jay-Z's Grammys mean more than Drake. Because Jay-Z's a better artist because of Drake, because he got more Grammys than Drake. No. Especially in this era, especially at the time period of the Grammys Of all of the award shows, that is the most industry-driven award show, by the way. You want to sit here and say Jay-Z got more Grammys than Drake? That's why he's a better artist? The Grammys, who's been called out on several fucking occasions for not understanding the actual shit they're judging. like, bro, I remember the time when The Weeknd had the #1 album and the longest reigning song on Billboard. That boy didn't get nominated for one fucking Grammy. One. After Hours was one of the biggest fucking albums in the whole entire fucking country. The boy had the longest reigning song on the fucking Billboard chart ever with Blinding Lights. He got no Grammy nominations. This is the award show that y'all are trying to now use to separate these two. Well, Jay-Z got more Grammys than Weeknd had the popularity and he had the actual music that was speaking for itself. And people in the Grammys just said no. This is the award show that y'all trying to use to downplay Drake. The shit writes itself. I say this shit all the time. The jokes write itself. Because the facts are, the Grammys never mattered. They never did. It's like you dumbasses that want to sit here and say Billboard don't matter. Numbers don't matter. Numbers are the only thing that matter in music. Award shows do not. That's why so many award shows are become watered down and not watchable. Because we already know what the fuck you're doing. You nominate Taylor Swift, she winning every fucking award. Not because her music is great or like that. Not this Taylor Swift, but it's not because her music is just this life-altering changing of the guard. It's because she's fucking popular. When you go to the BET Awards, Kendrick Lamar is going to win every fucking award. Why? Because they feel like they have to give him every award. That's just facts. For a dude that's very anti-industry, like Drake is, the narrative that people want to paint is the funniest thing. And he knows one thing. The only thing that does matter in music is Billboard, is the numbers. That's why you don't like it. The narrative that you paint is very stupid. But paint it, man. And hey man, paint the numbers. Paint the narrative that you need to paint all day, every day. No problem. Here's a conversation that people are also having, which I saw today bubbling up very fast. Now that it's over, now that we got Iceman and we got the fall off, what is the best album? As a fan of both, as a fan of both J. Cole and Drake, as a fan that was expecting both of these albums and love both of these albums, I'm gonna be 100. If we talk about rap, strictly hip hop, it's the fall off. It's the fall off. I'll tell you why I say the fall off. These are two albums that were both anticipated, very anticipated. Both of these albums was very anticipated, but for different reasons. J. Cole had to prove to the world that he is still one of the greatest rappers of all time. Excuse me. Because how people was playing with his name after that shit was insane. So J. Cole had a different fight. He had a different hill to climb than Drake did. Also, the fall off didn't really have. I mean, like J. Cole announced it in like early January, like mid January, and then like the week later, like 2 weeks later, when he announced that shit, he announced it like I want to say the week, maybe the week after New Year's. like 2 weeks after New Year's or some shit. And then he announced February 6th is dropping. And then he dropped the Fall Off is Inevitable. And then I think like a week later, he dropped on his birthday weekend, which was my birthday weekend. He dropped the mixtape, and then the next week was the Fall Off. So he didn't really have we didn't have enough time to really gravitate or actually understand what we were about to get from the Fall Off, because again, it wasn't like Iceman. The anticipation for the Fall Off was there, but he didn't give people a chance to actually shit on it. Like, people were anticipating it and they were waiting for it, but nobody knew what the hell we were about to get. Like, we didn't know. We kind of figured out it was gonna be a 2 disc album. And we're like, oh, we're getting two albums, great. But again, it goes to, we didn't know what the Fall Off was until it came out. The anticipation for the Fall Off was completely different for Iceman. Two different worlds. If you ask me what is my favorite rap album, it's still the Fall Off. I think there's still songs on the Fall Off that I could go back to. Let's not pretend like when the Let Out came out, we wasn't bumping the Let Out. Let's stop pretending like we weren't out here dancing to Bombs in the Ville. Let's stop pretending like What If wasn't the shit. Let's stop pretending like I used to love her, I love her again wasn't one of the best rap songs. Let's stop acting like Quick Stop wasn't the shit. Let's stop acting. I get it. We got some new shit, so now we acting like the new shit. Like, fuck that old shit. This new shit. The Fall Off was a body of work from Cole that I feel like, as a fan of J. Cole, I gotta be honest, that's probably something I didn't even know I needed until I got it. I didn't even know I needed it. I didn't even know I needed that type of level of a rap album from an artist like J. Cole. I didn't even know it. I was cool with what I got from J. Cole. J. Cole is one of my favorite rappers of all time. He's in my top 5 dead or alive. I don't fuck nobody say. That boy in my top 5 dead or alive. J. Cole is one of those dudes. He will always be one of those dudes. I don't fuck what you say. If you ask me, the best rap album is the Fall Off. It's not even close. It's not even close. Like I said, every song had a perspective and a persona and just something that, as a Cole fan, he brought you back to the time where you became a Cole fan. And I think that's why I love that album so much. Is that I actually could go back and listen to it and I still fuck with it. And there's still songs on that bitch that I will still bump to this day. But don't get it twisted, because I think Iceman is the best album, because the perspective and the persona of what Iceman was, what people wanted to hear from Iceman, was completely different than what people wanted to hear from the Fall Off. The Fall Off had a different perspective. The way people wanted to hear the Fall Off was completely different than what people wanted to hear Iceman for. And I think that's why I hate having this conversation. That's why I don't like this dumbass conversation, because it's stupid. It's a stupid fucking conversation. The Fall Off is completely different than Iceman. The anticipation for the Fall Off was completely different for Iceman than it was for the Fall Off. It's two different worlds. People wanted to see what would Cole say. Why did you jump out? Why did you leave the battle? What was so like, oh no, I can't do this. Why? It was different than Iceman. Iceman's anticipation was, I want to hear where Drake is. What is his mindset now? Where is he mentally? What is he thinking? Where is he at? Is he apologetic for the beef? Is he, does he finally feel does he feel betrayed with all of this? Does he feel remorse for feeling the way he's been feeling and doing what? there was a lot of shit that people wanted from Drake that he was never going to give you, or particularly what you've been bitching and moaning and complaining that you wanted from him for years, and he just never was going to give you. But this was probably the best answer to what everybody has been waiting to hear from Drake. Okay, you want to know where I'm at mentally? I got you. And that's what Iceman is. I don't look at Iceman and treat Iceman like it's the fall off, because the fall off is a completely different album than what Iceman is. The anticipation for the fall off was completely different for what I was looking for the fall off compared to Iceman. What I wanted to hear from Iceman, I got from Iceman. And I think that's the thing about the situation. It's like I got something completely different from Iceman that I didn't want. I didn't want to hear Drake be reflective. Okay, like I don't need Drake to be reflective. Drake's always reflective. He's always fucking reflective. He's always thinking about what the fuck happened at his life in his life. That's not what the fuck I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear Drake finally understood. Yo, it's me. It's either me or them. And since y'all think that they better without me, okay, we're gonna see. That's what the fuck I wanted to hear. I wanted to hear Drake finally realize, hey, all right, bet. I've been too nice to y'all niggas. I've been giving y'all niggas features and never wanted anything back. I've been giving y'all niggas features, songs. I've been very, very friendly to you niggas. Careers were made off of my name. I ain't got time for that shit no more. I wanted to hear that. I wanted to hear Drake talk down on his label. I wanted to hear Drake talk his shit on his label. That's what I wanted. And that's what I got. I wasn't looking for Drake to be reflective. I wasn't looking for Drake to tell me. I literally said this shit when this album came out. When I think I was talking about this album 2, 3 weeks before the album came out. I literally said I want Drake to give I want Drake to give a reflection on what the fuck he's been through for the first 2 songs, and after that, give me Drake. Give me that actually Drake album that I've been looking for, and that's exactly what the fuck I got. I got that. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. I got that. I got that guy. I got the Drake that I know that you ain't touching. That nigga, that rapper, that dude, he different. That's a different Drake. That's what I wanted to hear. So when I say Iceman is a better album, I think Iceman's album of the year. But I think if you ask me what's the rap album of the year, it's Fall Off. These are two different worlds. I think people continuously think, oh, because well, Drake's a rapper. Listen, Fall Off to me is rap album of the year. Iceman, and I can actually flip it. I think Fall Off can be album of the year. And I think Iceman can be the rap album of the year. You can flip these two albums and you still get the same result from me. Because what I got from these two albums, I can't knock it. I liked both of these albums because of where they were at the time. J. Cole explaining, okay, yeah, I might have did something to a lot of people was very against what you should do in hip hop. I got it. But doesn't change the facts that I'm still one of the best in the game. And for Drake, it was the perspective of y'all think y'all are better than me. Y'all think y'all can take my spot. Y'all think y'all are great. Y'all think you can take my goddamn spot and it won't be nothing. I won't come back for it. I won't show you that I'm a guy. That is why I like Iceman. Two different worlds, two different albums, two different perspectives. And yet, as a fan of both, got exactly what I needed. So if you ask me,